The BridgeVine's the new deck. This zoo list, Josh asked me to call it Brooklyn Zoo. I don't know what makes it Brooklyn Zoo. It's a zoo list. I know that much. We're going to have to wait and see what makes his list unique. But the new list that we're talking about, of course, is this BridgeVine. So if people remember when Hollow One was first coming out, people were trying a Vengevine Hollow One style before they got rid of it altogether and just found this more optimal version of the red-black list. And Vengevine, everybody, I feel like in Modern, has wanted to find a deck for it for years. They wanted it. It's gotta be there somewhere, right? We gotta find it. And now it's this cool little Bridge from Below style deck that runs around. So we're going to have to wait and see how things go for round number 4 here against Josh. So both playing creature-oriented decks. Bridge from Below is one of the ones that we're going to be discussing, and I'll put it up in chat now. Again, if there's any cards that we're talking about that you don't know what they do, simply type exclamation card, then the card's name. You don't have to be close. Like, you got to get somewhat relevant to what the card's name is, but you don't have to have it exact spelling. So this Bridge from Below is one of our nice ones that we want to get into our graveyard. We'll be able to do that by having Faithless Looting, Collective Brutality, by having Insolent Neonates, even that Stitcher Supplier that puts the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. It throws out these zombies if you have a creature gets put into the graveyard from the battlefield, and you have ways to throw things into the graveyard, right? So you're going to be playing things like Walking Ballista. You're kind of playing those Grave Crawlers. I talked about those Neonates. You've also got Viscera Seer as a sack outlet, Bloodghast for getting going, and then the big guy. Sinister is on point with it. Greater Garganon, the big man himself. He gets suspended. All right, you throw him over there. Suspend for 1 red for 10 turns. But you can sack an artifact, creature, or land and remove one of those time counters or the suspend counters off of him. Right? So there's another sack outlet. You go that route and be like, all right, I can just throw stuff in my graveyard and make zombies. Sweet. And now, once this comes off suspend, I have a 9/7. Not only that, it runs things like Goblin Bushwhacker, right? So when he enters the battlefield, if he was kicked, creatures you control get +1/+0 and haste. So hey, here's this Greater Garganon, and now he's got haste. Saying I'm sure I missed a trigger or 2 this match. Potentially. It's okay. It happens. Alright. So because it's Zoo, we got to be playing something on turn 1. And Experiment 1 is the man of the hour, hitting the board first. And look at this. Turn 1, Greater Garganon already. Love it. Says, hey, don't worry about this. He's not here for 9 turns. But I can sack stuff to him, and I get rid of those counters, and then he gets to come out. So just think about him as a big, scary guy way off in the distance. Eventually, he's going to get over here. But he might be able to start, running really fast every now and again if I can give him a boost by throwing things his way. Ooh, let's get some mana. And let's get a counter. And oh, yep, let's kick this guy in here. Here's a Bushwhacker. Let's see. This guy, Reckless, is able to push for damage. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, give or take. Here's a Faithless Looting. Draw 2, discard 2. And it looked like there was a bridge that got thrown in there. And here's the Stitcher. So that's the one that throws 3 things in there into the graveyard when it dies and when it enters the battlefield. So a great way to throw even more goodies in there. And he's, you know, a 1/1, so it's like, hey, I'll get in the way for a second and throw more stuff in there, and then I can get some zombies, right? Goblin Guide. Let's bolt this guy. And let's sack it to Greater Garganon, right? One, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. Here's one of his zombie mans. Says, I'm turning my dudes sideways. Goblin Guide trigger looks like a neonate on top. Block experiment. Take 6. Go to 6. Yikes. Well, there is a neonate, and I believe there's 2 bridges in the graveyard. Okay. Sack before damage. Let's sack it again. And how many bridges? I believe there's still 2, so he's going to get 2 zombies. Boom, boom, boom. Ah, okay. So he sacked it before damage. Okay. So experiment 1 should still be on the battlefield is what we're getting confirmation on. Is that he was not dead because I sacked before damage. So now it looks like Andrew's going through things and saying, hey, sacked before damage, so he's actually still on the battlefield. Didn't deal any damage to him. I basically absorbed the damage that way. Very good point. If damage had gone through, then the bridges would have been screwed. Because, again, when a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard from the battlefield, if bridge from below is in your graveyard, exile bridge from below. So it's a lot of this, hey, here's my blockers. They're going to declare blocks, and then I'm going to sack them, right? I'm just going to get them out of the way, absorb that damage. Landfall triggers. Sack, let's make some dudes. Sack, let's make some dudes. How many Greater Garganons are you running in your list? So it looks like there's a Gravecrawler that's in there that he's debating about casting as well. That's privileged information. So, okay, Andrew is running 4. So are you running Viscera in your list? Or are you just relying on the Greater Garganon and not having to worry about Viscera? Or just low on your Viscera numbers? Like a 1 of or something. Oh, things are looking tough. Let's do some dredging, he says. Another blood gas. Oh my. Insulin neonate. Sack this, discard this, can potentially draw a card. He might dredge, and he will. And there's a couple of grave crawlers hanging out in the graveyard still. Yeah, I think if you have the room for it, putting even just like a 1 of Viscera Seer is nice. But once it's, on that suspend there, they can't interact with your sack outlet, which is also really good. So that card in the bottom right there, guys, is more zombies. Just letting us know that there are more getting made. Pull from eternity. Oh, that's cool. And look, here's the big man himself, Greater Garganon, coming on out. And we're counting up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 14 there's 7 2/2 zombies. And then Greater Garganon, of course, is a 9/7. And here's another Greater Garganon. He says, hey, I got another one just in case you're going to do something crazy. And let's make some more zombies, please. Okay, so Meddling Mage is the only interaction you see often, because no one's really playing Pull from Eternity. Alright, so we're counting up again, checking on how many zombies, and Andrew's just going to continue and be like, hey, listen, I'm getting to the point where I have too many zombies that even if you blocked, you're going to die. So, game 1, the bridge gets there. Like, you could see, even with an aggressive deck like this Zoo list, Andrew was able to get going and had a sack outlet and got the bridges able to help protect him. I moved to attack and there was too many to turn sideways, he says. So now we're going into the board state here. We'll have to see what he's got available. Like, if he has... I don't know if he's playing Naya. Like, I don't know if he's got any white in his list for things like Rest in Peace. Relics, if he's got relics. I mean, one of the things that he could do, right? He could, if he's running Lightning Bolt, he could Lightning Bolt his own creatures to get rid of some bridges. Grafdigger's Cage is alright, yeah. Grafdigger's Cage isn't bad. It helps to keep those grave crawlers where they belong in the grave. Helps keep those pesky little bloodghasts in there. Helps keep those vengevines in there. Stranger, what were you thinking board wise here? What do you got available to help you in this matchup? I don't know if you're running pushes or Dark Blast or anything like that. Last one tonight, Bright. Sorry you came in at the end, but the VODs will be up on YouTube in case you missed them. You know, we're going to try to get back into doing more than 4 rounds, but for the time being, 4 is where we're maxing out at in a night. Right, and Sinister's on the right track of with that. I'm assuming that Graveyard Hate is coming in. Yeah. So bringing in answers to the artifacts and enchantments is the way to go. I like that. So like Destructive Revelries, things like that. Ah, okay. So do you have Dark Blast in your board then? Is that? I'm just trying to get all the inside tech about what you're playing. That's really what it is. No, but he's making a good point. He says Dark Blast is sweet, but he's got a lot of X2s. And he's on the draw, so it's not as beneficial here. Okay. So he's basically in that reactive mode because Thoughtseize is nice, but he can't really afford to hurt himself anymore in this matchup because of how aggressive this sort of Naya or this zoo list is, this Blitz zoo as I used to call it. All right, players shuffling up and getting ready for game number 2 here. Alright, let's get going. Getting our lands out and about. Neonate. Let's throw that in the graveyard off of this dude man. And I'm going to dredge him away. Alright, getting our fetching on. Looks like he says, you know what, I need to be at 16 instead. So he is on Xenialis, it looks like. So that does give him access to potential graveyard stuff. And we saw Destructive Reveille was thrown in to Andrews. So, hey, let's Burning into a Goyf. How about that for some zoo action? And we have a Tarmadai, so we'll let you know how big he is momentarily. And he's a 3/4 at this point. Doing some more dredge. It looks like there is at least one bridge in the yard now. Neonate. Let's get some more value. Sack it. Get a zombie. Dredge away. No more bridges. Mountain. And there we go. I was wondering if he was going to end up finding a sack outlet. Greater Garganon is going to be suspended. He'll be back later, guys. Remember, that's that giant guy way off in the distance coming to beat you up. Oh, tricky. I'm going to cast this for 0 so I can get a bridge guy. And then I'll get this BridgeVine. Look at that trickery. We haven't, we didn't get to see BridgeVine game 1, so. I like that. So, again, 4/3 with haste. Whenever you cast a spell, if it's a second creature spell you cast this turn, you can return him from your graveyard to the battlefield. Alright, we're seeing another fetch take place here for Josh, but he did lose 4. Looks like he decided not to block. Down 12, fetching down to 11. But now there's an artifact. I don't remember if there was an artifact before, but Goyf might be bigger. Artifact, creature, enchantment. Artifact, creature, enchantment, land. I feel like there probably is a sorcery in Andrews. For sure it's a 4. Maybe there's not. Maybe there's not a sorcery. But it's at least a 4. Artifact, creature, enchantment, land. It's a 5/6. Okay, so there's got to be more. All right, so he's at least guaranteed 4/5. But he might be even bigger. Yes, there is a Destructive Revelry. So he's a 5/6. Artifact, creature, enchantment, instant, land, 5/6. Yeah, so he could have blocked then, and Andrew still had the outlet to do some sacking if need be. But so he says, I'm going to block here with that guy so I can... What is that? I have no idea what that card is. Oh! That's gross. So he'll take 9. Yeah, that's pretty good. Gore Clan Rampager. There we go. I forgot about it. That's the promo. Okay, it's like the art looks so different. So I took 8. Why did you take 8? If 5 plus 4. Wouldn't you take 9? Oh, you didn't sack it. That's why. You didn't sack it. Okay. You just let it die. Okay. Alright, so we're missing just the normal sack engine going on here. No big deal, guys. Thanks for keeping me on point there, Andrew. Block here. Block here. So it says you can path it, but it's not going to turn out the way that you want it to. We're still going to absorb the damage. So you got to path them like before blockers, but I still have got plenty of blockers to get in the way. I think it shows him at 8, so I must have missed a fetch or two here. And just looking for that basic swamp. Ah, okay. It took some damage from last turn. So that must have been what I missed for him to be down to 8. Or maybe he's at 6. Can't tell for the spin down. We'll find out soon enough. Says, look, I'm going to sack all these things. Boom, 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 boom. This Garganon's coming soon. Nan's not used to life totals, only infect. Hey, I only need to count to 10 in this. This is way past my counting range, alright? Oh, that's what that was. I was wondering, I was like, what's happening here? Alright, so he's going to be down to 12 because he's fetching with no fetchable sources. Thug life. 2, 4, 6, 8. Got there. Man, this bridge list is pretty powerful. Like, even against an aggro deck like this zoo list, it's not that easy to deal with. So you can tell it can be quite complicated, and you've got to know the different lines and when to sack things and when to do your sort of interactions and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. I'm liking to see that we got a lot of newer decks on camera with the Hardened Scales Affinity this week, BridgeVine this week. We got to see some old classics. When I say old classics, like we got to see Tron Round 1. Hollow 1 was also played this week. So lots of fun games that we're able to get to see on camera. I hope you guys were able to enjoy the coverage tonight. Again, we're only doing 4 rounds. Quick and easy one this week, but if you like the coverage, please consider following and subscribing. Definitely helps show your support for the channel, help us to be able to continue bringing you guys this awesome coverage. Oh, I like this. Bright saying, hopefully I have a better time tomorrow and bring a real oldie to stream. I love it. Can't wait to see. I still am up in the air on what I'm going to be playing. Who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? A mystery deck. So, again, if you guys like it, we've got the Twitters for the hosts here. Of course, I'm Nanman, or the Real Nanman. You can see down below at the Real Nanman is my Twitter and my own Twitch. I started to stream up my own stuff more and more. Guaranteed on Saturdays you will see me streaming up for a couple of hours now. So if you want to see some other shenanigans that's not Magic related, check that out. I've been doing some Diablo, been playing some Anno, just playing some other games. So, and then, oh, thank you, RPN. Glad you're liking the stream enough to hit the follow. We really appreciate it here. So, going to be doing streaming over on that end of things. Of course, our co-host Brett not able to join us this week, but hopefully next week we're going to see about him joining in, and he is at Farm of Zuranar. He does a lot of his own streaming on his channel. Check out his Twitter as well. And then us over here at Modern Mondays is the Twitter, and the YouTube is Modern Magic Mondays, just like the Twitch channel. All the VODs do get posted up there for you guys. In case you miss around, you could check them out that way. So, 5 copies of Burn last week. That's pretty tough. I do love me some Jeskai Kiki. So, big fan of that deck. So again, thanks so much for tuning in and watching, guys, and we'll see you guys next game.